Again, what you're doing, Charles, the motion now, you're rocking back and forth so much it kind of, there's no impact to it anymore. So what you gotta do is, you gotta come up and then wham, like put your shoulders back to the look. Try it. Now you come up, that's it. Okay, what you gotta do, you gotta hit that as a punctuated moment. So you, okay, go. No, but there's no, it doesn't look like you recognize, you don't see anything. You gotta react. When you get...
Here we are. How many years later?
That was 13 years?
13, 14 years later.
Actually, almost to the day. Started 14 years this time of the year.
Well, it's introductions. I'm Stephen Chiodo.
I'm Edward Chiodo.
And I'm Charlie Chiodo.
So you can blame us. Everything in that movie, you can point to these three guys and say, they're responsible.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chiodos. That name was on there a lot. It was kind of funny. That was a big laugh for us.
Well, the first joke of the film, if you look at the credits, or was it?
Or produced by.
The producer credit, Charles Chiodo, Edward Chiodo, Stephen Chiodo.
Especially if you mispronounce it. I mean, it was a labor of love for us because even before we got into production, we'd been thinking about this idea for many years. You know, started just conversations about, you know, what's the scariest thing you could think of driving along a dark road. And it was if you looked next to you and saw a clown peering at you from another car.
Oh no! Come on, Joe! Get going! Down, but battery-powered light.
After we get the 2 takes of the whole routine, we just start braking. We go until you get going.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, they're
then I'll go
pulling
like
cables
this.
out.
If I do this, then you guys start doing something real nice.
up the sky? No, we don't want to light up the sky yet.
That's cool. Yeah, nice. Joe. Don't rush. You're going to use that one good one, and then we got problems with another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get the crashes on the way down. Let's make sure we get 2 good performances of that recognition of the clown. Take your time. Milk a little bit, okay? That's good, Johnny. Milk it like that. It works better.
What's that?
And Johnny, look more towards his feet when you look at him.
Okay.
I gotta worry about the feathers.
That's it. You got it.
John, let me see your position, please.
2-8. Tell everyone to stay clear of the track.
Okay, hold on.
Clear back?
I don't have any batteries, so when these fucking
Oh, that's incredible. That's great.
One back right up. Yeah, how are we running this light, guys? The battery? Is that battery on the sun good? Thank you. Okay, how close are we to going?
Actually, the original opening, as it was written in the original screenplay, we had a teaser that started the film, and it was our first clown kill. But because of some of the technical difficulties we had in shooting up north in Santa Cruz, the sequence technically wasn't good enough to open the film.
Mark, your markers. Action.
A little more violent. Okay, get her.
You don't like it? Get out and walk.
Go ahead, get out of here. I don't want to drive around with a drunken bum like you anyway.
Your markers. Action.
Okay, you guys. Okay, a little bit more violent, a little bit of a fight. More violent now. Okay, give it to her.
This is bullshit. You don't like it? Get out and walk.
Go ahead, get out of here. I don't want to drive around with a drunken bum like you anyway.
Good. Tail work.
Save it. Tail. And
Action.
you don't like it? Get out and walk.
Good.
Save it. Marker. And
Action.
you don't like it? Get out and walk.
Go ahead, get out of here. I don't want to drive around with a drunken bum like you anyway.
Cut.
Save it.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
okay.
We really wanted it in the movie, so we were on a very tight schedule. We had to shoot the film in 36 days. We were not going to get any more days to shoot this movie, so the only way to shoot it again was to open up time in the schedule. And so Steven just got his plan where he just started accelerating other scenes to buy us time, another half a night, to get to shoot the clown car again.
And then the second time we shot it, they chose this little park area where the road was so rocky and so bumpy that all the shots were jumbling up and down. Another unusable day's worth of shooting.
But the lighting was okay.
Yeah, the lighting was better, so now you can see how shaky the camera was.
So we had two badly shot nights of the sequence there, and the executive producer, the director, Edward, they said, forget this, it doesn't work, let's get rid of it, throw it out. And I went in there and I said, no, this is the whole conception, this is the initial concept of the whole freaking film. You know, there's got to be something here we can use. So I go in there, I went with the editor, I sat down with him, I said, you know, let's make this thing work. And I said, this shot is good, this shot is good, that's good, this car, this close-up, this close-up. And I took everything that wasn't crappy. And then I made a montage. I put together, with Chris Roth, I put together a sequence. It's an abbreviated sequence from the original plan, but at least it's in there. And there were two cuts. Two was it one stop motion or two stop motion cuts?
Two stop motion cuts
that we did with Fantasy 2 and Gene Warren, where we went to the traditional thing. We made a small little 5-inch clown puppet, put it on a rig, and photographed it frame by frame in front of a rear screen projection.
Yeah, we actually went up to Griffith Park. We shot a plate of the car swerving off the road, and then Gene later did a composite shot of the clown knocking the car off the road.
Right. Knocking the car off the road, which is, this whole sequence was a real nightmare because we can talk about the live car going off the cliff. That was a whole other fiasco.
Well, it was supposed to go flying off the cliff, and we have the behind-the-scenes footage there. Everyone's yelling, "Get back! All right, get out of there! Run! Get away!"
100 yards away. If you had to go back farther, because they didn't want this car to be careening onto the crowd, on top of the crew.
And kill us all. The car went,
like a runny nose. It just dribbled over the cliff.
You see it in the film. It's kind of unimpressive.
Uneventful. And what happened in the end, I think, to stop the car from rolling down the hill it was on, they put a sandbag underneath the front wheel. And they neglected to take the sandbag away when they had the cable pull the car. So the cable snapped immediately. So the car just kind of rolled down the hill via gravity.
Actually, if it weren't for the hill, it wouldn't have gone anywhere, which...
Which would have been better.
We would have got a second take, maybe.
It's just one of those crazy things that happens in production, and we laugh about it now.
Rent that one too. The run up there. Try to catch it with balls.
Roll the other cameras.
Okay, action.
Get out of there. Out. And action.
Cable bro.
No.
It's all right.
Spin it. Fire. Action.
Some technical aspects, like when the clowns were shot in the nose, we had this tornado effect that the clown's nose would burst and they'd rotate around and around and around and explode in a burst of confetti. One of the gags we used in the photography of that scene was a reactive light rig. As the clowns are twirling, Gene Warren in Fantasy II comped a tornado on top of the clown. But we wanted some reactive light sparkling all over the walls as he was spinning. We had this cylinder of cracked mirrors pointing in every direction, like a mirrored, disco mirrored ball, and we rotated that with all these green lights shining into it. So we had this, like this cascade of these reflected lights beaming all over the room. And that was the reactive light that was then used as a background plate for this tornado effect that Gene comped on top. Cocoon gag is another one, the cocoon gun.
Well, that's a fun, yeah. We'll show you, you know, the cocoon magically appears when the gun is fired at the hapless victim, but you'll see that the actor has to get out of there, and he is replaced by a pink cotton candy cocoon, and you'll see how seamlessly and flawlessly we made the switch.
Well, yeah, it's pretty, not that it's low-tech stuff, but it's just very basic special effects techniques that we use throughout the whole film. The same thing with Debbie being blasted inside the balloon. We have the background plate for that as well. The beginning of the take is where Debbie's standing there, or sitting there on the couch, and the clowns blast her with their ray gun. We have a reactive light glowing her yellow. And then in the same take, we have her walking out, and we have one of the effects guys bringing in a balloon. And what Gene did as an optical, he kind of cut out the middle and cross-dissolved between Debbie and the balloon with some kind of optical effect on top.
Okay, and action.
Cut.
Save it.
Pretty good. How do you?
All right, let's do it.
It's really more the characters, you know, for the
Yeah.
Mike Tobacco, the Terenzi brothers, Joe Lombardo. These are all people we grew up with.
So the cast of characters really are people that we knew. I mean, Terenzi brothers are very good friends of mine, and we always had fun adventures with them, doing stupid things as kids. And Mike Tobacco was always a ladies' man as well. So we took those, I guess, icons for us and just put them in essentially The Blob, Jack Harris's The Blob film, in that kind of script. Kids trying to communicate to the authorities that they're as monsters, with our friends as the main characters.
We barely got away.
Killer clowns from outer space. Holy shit.
Action.
Well, son, I think you made a big mistake. You're in Mooney's territory now. For me?
Then I guess we threw in all our favorite monster films and science fiction films as references, like The Power Chamber is a direct reference to the Krell Chamber in the Forbidden Planet. And
well, I believe yeah, that's what a lot of filmmakers do. There's certain things that they grew up watching, motion pictures and television, that stuck with them. And I would say it's an homage. You know, we're basically bringing it back with just a slight little twist. You know, the Ray Harryhausen, Willis O'Brien, you know, scenes. There was, you know.
Well, somebody had asked me if the cocoons were reminiscent of the pods in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, pulling the cotton candy away and seeing that face underneath.
Well, yeah.
It. I don't remember specifically being that reference, but you know, I love that film.
It must have been consciously. I don't think we did it, but it's imagery is certainly ingrained in our vocabulary. It was our first film because we had done effects for a lot of people a lot of years here, and the only way we were able to make this movie was really working with calling in a lot of favors and a lot of friends. I mean, Dwight Roberts, who designed and built all the clown animatronics, a long-term associate with us, and you know, he basically, you know, gave blood and sweat to make the clowns come alive. Gene and Leslie over Fantasy 2 really could not make the film without them.
Hey, can we speed that up, please?
Okay, here we go. Ready? Rehearsal. And action.
Action.
Well, we're going to be rich. Come on, Pooh. Pooh.
All right, can we wrangle that dog over there?
If you want to go to 21, you better come along with me. I'm going to be eating that damn Jack in the Box for the rest.
Action.
Yeah, we're going to be rich, girl. This is our lucky day. You're going in the wrong direction if you want to get something to eat, because I got it. Out here, I'm not even. Yeah, we're going to be rich, girl. This is our lucky day. You're going in the wrong direction if you want to get something to eat, because I got it. Out here, I'm not even. I got it. Well, I never seen one that looked like this.
The business of clowns has been clouded for the past several years, but now with MGM stepping up, there's a little more direction, and so we're hopeful that maybe with the success of the re-release here, that we'll be able to really do everything we thought we could do with the film. We always saw this as a franchise. By now, we should be up to Killer Clowns 9 or 10. You know, it's really rich in that sort of the clown motifs, the circus motifs, the merchandising possibilities, and there's so many things that we left out in the first movie that we want to do, and there's just so many things that are still unmined in terms of clown antics.
You know, it's really fun. I don't know where the bug came from, except we grew up in New York watching $1 Million movie, which was running King Kong, Mighty Joe Young, Godzilla's, and Rodan, all the Japanese movies.
Oh yeah, and living in the Bronx, in close proximity to Manhattan, when we saw King Kong, he was like walking around in our neighborhood. And in fact, we went to the Empire State Building to see the spot where he, the crack in the cement that he made when he landed.
So Mom and Dad were always supportive. You know, Dad took us to the monster movies and the matinees and stuff.
So when we were older, we got a camera, a Super 8 camera. Actually, it was an 8mm camera, and we started recreating those famous films that we saw when we were young. We did stop motion, we did puppets, and we started making films in the basement.
Yeah, I don't think they really understood what the drive was to tell stories, create images. But they were supportive. But they always, in the back of their mind, well, learn computers, learn electronics, have something to fall back on. But they never discouraged us. I mean, they bought us the cameras, they bought us the film, got us things processed. So they very supportive in that manner.
Yeah, I went to I went to an art school. Stephen went to a film school. Edward went to
many schools.
Many schools. Yeah. About to study the entertainment, technical, performance aspects. So they was always supporting, but they always wanted us to possibly take the civil service exam, so we'd have something to fall back on.
Yeah, but it was always art. What we were creating was stories, but art. Charlie was an illustrator, I was a sculptor, and Ed got involved with more the engineering and mechanics. And everything we've done in our careers, both in filmmaking and both as effects supervisors, we just throw tons of art. It's sculpting, it's painting, it's sewing and welding. It's all these arts and crafts thrown together. And the best thing is making a film, utilizing all of that art.
Even today, I still don't think they really understand what we do, but we seem to be doing okay.
I mean, was it important that we have to make people movies? No, we like the monsters. We wanted to make a monster movie.
Can't go anymore. You see that feet.
Okay, good. Did that move better for you?
Before we
If you can do it fast.
Okay,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Come on.
Okay. For a good week.
What are we doing? All right. That's it, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for good work.
That's a wrap.